Hi everyone, my name is Nur Aisa Safiya and I am a student of Bachelor in Applied English. For our UCS 3123 Community Engagement Project, me and my group had a program called Voices of Kindness. Our program focuses on how the words and tone can affect the children's emotion and self-esteem, especially children who live in sheltered homes or has faced difficult experiences. We wanted to create a positive communication environment through a simple and practical handbook for the caregivers at Pusat Tuition Cikgu Zai. As the assistant leader, my main responsibility was to support our project leader, Zakwan, and coordinate the group communication and make sure every task ran smoothly. On the execution day, we had a silent observation for the students at the tuition center where we observed how the caregivers interacted with the children during their study times, meals, and playtime. We took notes on their tone, word, body language, and see whether the language used was positive, negative, or neutral. Other than that, I also helped with the distribution and collection of caregiver surveys through volunteers, parents, and tuition centers through their Facebook page or mutuals that we know around Kuala Lumpur. One of the biggest challenges was maintaining the natural observation without interfering with the children's daily routine. But for the children, for us, for the caregivers, of course, it's quite weird that there are teenagers in their routine of the day when we were observing them. Since we couldn't talk to them directly, it was also quite difficult to interpret their tone or intention very clearly. Another challenge was time coordination, balancing our personal schedule with classes and exams. But also, we had to ensure that we had equal contribution in our project. We overcame this by keeping an open communication through our group chat and divided our responsibilities early. On a personal note, it was very challenging to stay emotionally neutral while observing. Seeing how one single word could affect a child reminded me how powerful language truly is. Through this project, I applied many skills from our program, especially in communication, observation, and critical thinking. From a linguistic point of view, I used my knowledge of pragmatic and discourse analytics to understand how tone and context influence meaning. And from a personal side, I had to practice leadership, teamwork, and empathy, also adjusting to last-minute changes under the pressure while supporting the group and engaging with the community. I also learned the importance of ethical sensitivity, where we have to respect the children's privacy, the caregiver's privacy, and the volunteer's privacy, but also maintain a professionalism when working with vulnerable groups. This project made me realize how simple words can have a lasting effect. Even unintentional labels like nakal or lembab can show how children see themselves. I had to grow a lot in terms of patience and emotional intelligence. Instead of rushing to solve problems, I had to learn to observe, listen, and understand first. Turning our research into a caregiver handbook taught me how to translate theory into practical, real-world solutions. I felt proud knowing that our work could create a lasting positive impact for both the caregivers and the children they look after. Overall, the Voice of Kindness project was a deeply meaningful experience for me. It taught me that language doesn't just communicate, it can also build or break one's confidence, especially for children who need an emotional safety net the most. If I were to do this project again, I would love to include a short training session for the caregivers so they can directly practice the positive communication techniques from our handbook. Our handbook isn't 100% correct, but I feel like it would still be very useful. I'm very grateful for this opportunity to connect with what we learned in class to real community impact. It reminded me that kindness doesn't always come from big actions. Sometimes it begins with the words we choose to say. And that is all from me. Thank you for watching my reflection vlog.